Breaking news, so Terence Bud Crawford came out letting Canelo Alvarez know that he's coming for him. He's walking around right now. His walking around weight is 186 pounds, which is all good and dandy, but Charlo did the same thing. He posted his weight leading up to the Canelo fight, showing that he was walking around more than 168 pounds. But walking around weight and fight weight is two different things. Canelo Alvarez walk-around weight is over 200 pounds. Therefore, Canelo will be built like the Hawk on fight night compared to Terence Bud Crawford. But at the end of the day, skills pay the bills. When Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo outweighed Floyd by 15 pounds naturally on fight night, which that's what Terence Bud Crawford is going to have to do to beat Canelo Alvarez, is show that he's levels over Canelo Alvarez. He's going to have to be, with all the disadvantages on his side. He's the older fighter. He's 38. Canelo's 34. He's the more inactive fighter. He fights once a year, barely. Canelo fights twice a year. More importantly, Crawford is going to be moving up 3 weight classes pretty much to fight Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo is going to be 21 pounds naturally bigger than Crawford. I remember when Charlo fought Canelo, old media brainwashed him to believing he was bigger than Canelo. They were telling him, because you taller, you actually bigger, as if being taller makes you bigger. In the sport of boxing, it's called weight classes for a reason, not height classes. That's why Tommy Hearns fought at 147, even though he was taller than Mike Tyson, who fought at heavyweight. Well, Charlo started changing his tune leading up to the Canelo fight, where he started complaining about the weight because he couldn't maintain the weight he posted on social media leading up to the Canelo fight. Charlo pointed out, even though he was bulking up for the Canelo Alvarez fight, he was having a hard time maintaining his weight during the intense training sessions for the fight. All of a sudden, the weight started coming off quick because he usually fights at 154. And that's exactly what's going to happen to Crawford. Yeah, he's 186 right now, but the moment he starts having intense training sessions, the weight is going to come off fast. The main thing for Crawford, though, is on fight night to be at a comfortable weight where he's still maintaining his speed, his agility, and he's comfortable enough to go 12 rounds. His stamina is still on point, not carrying too much weight for him to go the distance. Last thing you want to be is sluggish against Canelo Alvarez after moving up 3 weight classes to fight him in your 6 weight class if you are Terence Bud Crawford. The main difference between Crawford and Charlo, though, is the skill level. Once Canelo got Charlo respect with his power and took away Charlo check hook counter, Charlo didn't have the creativity to create more offense. To trick Canelo Alvarez, Charlo offense was limited. But Terence Bud Crawford is cut from a different breed. Offensively and defensively, Crawford is the perfect fighter. The only time Crawford can really lose is when he puts himself in crazy predicaments like he just did for the Canelo Alvarez fight. But that's what makes the Canelo Alvarez-Crawford fight a 50-50 fight. Yeah, Crawford is walking around 186 pounds, but Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, is most likely walking around 210 at the moment in time. More importantly, Crawford is bulking up to fight Canelo Alvarez right now. He's at 186 pounds, but the moment he starts having intense training for the Canelo Alvarez fight, once he starts camp, Crawford weight is used to coming off fast. His body is not used to be fighting at 168. He never fought at that weight class. He never fought at 160. He only fought at 154 once. For years, he's been campaigning at 147. Remember, he started at 135. Crawford was already competing at 135 when he was a grown man at 24 years old, equivalent to Canelo at 23, 24 when he was at 154. I'm not talking about 15 years old, because when you 15 years old, you haven't grew yet. Canelo Alvarez fans always bring up how Canelo came from 135 at 15 years old. Man, that's when he was a kid. They don't even allow fighters to fight at 15. They still in the amateurs in the USA. You're not allowed to turn pro till 18 in the USA. Canelo, when he was 23, 24, He was already a weight bully at 154. He created his own division at 155. So anything before Canelo was a grown man, you can't bring up how when he was 7 years old, Canelo was at 108. Well, guess what? That don't matter. What matters is when you are a grown man. When Canelo was only 19 years old, and that's around when you are allowed to turn pro in the USA, Canelo was already fighting at 154, being a weight bully there. Crawford, when he was around his 20s, 21, 23, 24, he was fighting at 135. And that was my point exactly. Due to that, once Crawford starts intense training, the weight is going to come off fast and he's going to have a hard time maintaining the weight, just like Charlo. But if he can come in on the weigh-in, anywhere near 168 is good enough. Clearly, Crawford can't match Canelo Alvarez's weight. He can't match his size. He's not going to be able to match his strength. But what he could try to match is to be his best self, to be comfortable at the weigh-in and on fight night. The key is on fight night, whatever the weight is, to be elusive enough, to have the speed, the agility to where he is still Bud Crawford. Remember, carrying too much extra weight can hurt your stamina on fight night. We all know Canelo Alvarez is going to be way bigger than Crawford on fight night. But the $1 million question is going to be, how is Crawford going to handle the weight? Well, come September, we're going to find out in the biggest fight of the year. That being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.